Hello everyone, this is Joyce Twing. I'm faculty and program coordinator in the Business Administration Department, and this video is primarily for students who have little or no experience with the Canvas Learning Management System. And the video is in no way designed to show you how your teachers will set up your individual Canvas courses. It's designed to show you some overall basic functionality of Canvas. You have probably been told to get to the Canvas dashboard by going to the portal and then going to Canvas, and you can do that, but I would suggest that you consider going directly to the Canvas dashboard by just going https://vscinstructor.com. And Instructure is the company that created Canvas, and obviously once you get this in your browser will remember it, and you won't have to go to the portal and then go to Canvas. It's up to you, but it just makes more sense to me that we go directly to the Canvas dashboard. When you get to the Canvas dashboard, you'll see a course card for each of your courses. Now, if you have a course that has a lab, like maybe a science course, you might see a course card for the course itself and another one for the lab. When you come up here and you see these three dots, you can change the Canvas view. You can change it to a list view, which will give you a list of announcements and other things, or to a recent activity view. And you certainly can look at those and see what they show you, but typically the default view with your Canvas courses kind of lined up here is the best way to look at the dashboard. I'm not going to explain all of these things over here because your teachers may explain some of them and how they want you to use them, but I will show you here that if you click on this top button here, you'll be able to edit your profile. So you can edit and put whatever you want in there. You can edit your profile picture, you can put a picture, you can put an avatar. You can put nothing, whatever you want to do there. If we look here, you'll see that there are lots of notification section selections. Yours may look different from mine, and some of these are default settings. You can look down through here, and all this is saying is how do you want to be notified. For example, if a teacher grades an assignment, do you want to get that notification by email? That might be a default. If a teacher makes a comment on a submission, those sorts of things. You can play around with these a little bit and see if you want to change them. You may want to leave them the way they are defaulted. Now we'll come back over here to the dashboard. And again, this is a calendar, and this calendar is, you'll see this in every one of your courses, and the Canvas and the calendar is, what you see on the calendar is dependent on the way your teachers set up your courses. So I'm not going to show you this. And this is the inbox. Again, this is where you can send messages to your teacher, or you can send messages directly to your teacher via your VTSU email. So that's a quick look just at the Canvas dashboard itself. You enter a class, as is the case with most things in electronic environments, by clicking the link. I'm not going to show you this class. I'm going to show you a different class that I have set up here for you so I can show you some of the functionality of Canvas. And again, the menu that you see for each of your courses may be different depending on how your teacher sets this menu up for you. Over here, you'll see that there is a to-do list here, and for many of your courses you will see this to-do list, but again, you may not see it for every course. When we come here, you'll see these little icons outside of each of the things, the items that are in this module. Most of your teachers will set your courses up in weekly modules. So this is the first week of the fall semester. And this is brand new, so if you're learning about this for the first time, everybody's learning about this for the first time. These only appeared last week, so you're getting a quick early view of these. If you click these are accessibility format menus. It allows you to change the format of the document that the teacher has put on Canvas. I'm not going to go over all of these. You can see, you can change them to an immersive reader where they will read it to you. You can change it to enhanced HTML, which changes the color of each line to make it easier to read. You can do Braille, OCR formats, just all kinds. And again, this is brand new, and it's totally awesome, and I haven't even checked all of it. So play around, give yourself time to play around with this a little bit, especially if you if any of these variations will help you to access the items in the course more effectively. So you'll see that everything here is a navigation link, and as is the case in all electronic environments, when you click the navigation link, it takes you somewhere. And in this case here, this takes you to a video. Now, depending on how the teacher has set this up, the video may play directly in the Canvas course. This one will, or you can also have the option of going to YouTube and watching it in YouTube, but you can watch it right here. So we'll go back here, and this is an assignment. We'll open this, and you'll see instructions. Now, the instructions that you see may not be anything like these, but your teacher will have given you some instructions here, and obviously you should read the instructions carefully. Don't just glance through them and miss something that's important. And I use a rubric for every assignment. If you have an assignment rubric, you'll see it under the assignment. Now, in order to do this, you'll see up here, this is an assignment where you have to submit something. And down here it has told you to submit a Word document or a PDF document. We'll come up here, we'll say Start Assignment. You can drag the file here, or you can add a file. You can say Add a File. I'm going to drag my file. I've got one right here. I'm going to drag it on here, and then you'll see it here, and I'm going to submit the assignment. And when you submit the assignment, you get this awesome confetti, congratulations, you did it. And don't exit out of this window until you see the confetti and see the submitted. And you can download this assignment if you need to go back and check it or want to. If you remember that you forgot to do something, can say New Attempt and submit a new file. It will replace the file here. So let's go back here to the module. So that is one way of submitting an assignment. Now here you'll see that there's a file here. You open this file, and you'll see that there's information here for you to look at. Now again, sometimes the teacher will set this up so when you open this, it will open in a new tab. But this one is set up to open directly in the Canvas class. Come back here. This is a quiz, and quizzes are one of the things that may be very, very different depending on how your teacher sets up the quiz. This is a very simple quiz. So we'll put this here. And we should see, yes, a little bit of information once it loads. And again, this is very simple. It says it doesn't have a time limit. It gives you the due date. Now, there are all kinds of other things that might happen here. You might have a time limit. You might use lockdown browser. If any of those things are the case, your instructor will explain those carefully to you. But this is just a simple, there's no time limit. Here's when it's due, and you begin the quiz. This is a multiple choice quiz, and so you'll just come down and you'll select the right answer, then you'll go to the next one. And I'm not going to go all the way through this, but it tells you how many points each question is worth, and then you'll answer the question, go to the next question, etc. And again, this is just a basic format for a quiz. So your teacher will tell you how each quiz in the class that you're taking will be formatted and what you need to do with it. So we're going to go back here and back to modules. And now we'll look at a different kind of assignment. This is an assignment, but you're not going to submit a file. So here's some questions. Here's the rubric. You want to make sure you pay attention to the rubric before you submit an assignment to be sure that you've done everything. Here it's telling you 6 sentences, so make sure you've done that. But here, when you say start the assignment, you are not going to submit a file. You are going to type directly in this text box, and again, you can format text here. It's a text editor. But you can say, this is my awesome assignment. I hope you enjoy it. Better spell correctly will help. And then you'll say, submit assignment. And you'll get the same congratulatory confetti and say that it's submitted. And again, you can do it again if you want to. And you can copy paste into that also if you want to do it in a Word document and copy paste into the text editor. And now the last kind of assignment that I'm going to show you is a discussion forum. Discussion forums are a big part of online classes. Discussion forums are how we talk to each other and how we listen to each other in online classes. In the discussion forum, we talk to each other by typing, and we listen to each other by reading. So if you are taking an entirely online class, you will probably have a lot of opportunity to use discussion forums. So you will see a variety of information. You may not, some discussion forums may have a lot less information than this. It may just give 2 or 3 questions and say answer one of the questions and ask a question. Again, this is just an example. If you look here, you'll see that this discussion forum has a rubric. Perhaps yours will or may not, but if they do, you can see the rubric by clicking here. And then we'll get rid of this. Well, I guess we will. Then you'll see up here that for this discussion forum, and this may be true of some or all or none of your discussion forums, you have to post before you can see what anyone else has posted. And again, that may not always be the case. So you're going to come down here and you're going to reply to the forum. And so might say reply to question 3. and type your reply. And then you'll say, down here, and you'll say reply. And come down here and you'll see it. Now if you look at this, you will see that you can come up here and you can edit it. So you can come in here and edit this and save it again. And if you want to reply to a student, this is a test student, and you can see we've already got some replies on here, but this is a test student. So you can say reply and follow the same process. Type your reply and type reply. So the important things to remember here is that if your teacher has given you the ability to edit, you can edit here, and if you have a rubric, you can see the rubric up here. And as you can see here, you can mark these as red or mark them all as red. You probably won't want to do that. So we'll come back over here. And there's one more file here, and this just kind of works the same way as the one up here that I've already shown you. But if you click here, this file will open here in the box, or it may open in a different browser window. All right. So what I have done here is show you what your Canvas dashboard will look like. You can see this one looks different than the others. You can change the color here if you want to and apply it. And then I've shown you an overview of typical things that you might see. Now, I'm not going to say that these are all of the things. Sometimes teachers will put polls in here for you to do and other things that I may not have shown you. But these are the basic things. How to submit an assignment as a file upload, how to submit an assignment as typing the assignment without uploading anything. You'll type it directly in the assignment window. How to reply to a discussion forum, and then quizzes, how to kind of access your quiz and look at the instructions so that you'll know what to do. Hopefully this has been useful for you, and best wishes on a great upcoming semester.